That's the General Secretary of Fortune Cookie.
Oh, fuck. Now that has to happen.
Welcome, comrades, to the Art of Cinema. I am your Minister of Propaganda, Colonel T.
And I am your glorious leader, General Secretary F.
Our glorious leader, General Secretary F, all children bring you burning love from their souls, because you, leading the party and the people, are teaching us to move forward. When we say our glorious leader, General Secretary F, we all know that we mean liberty, truth, and steadfastness. That's why we love you with ardor, with all our hearts throughout the People's Republic of F.
That's good. That's good.
We're down to number 3 on our list of the top 10 films of the 2010s. It's Her by Spike Jonze, who was married to Brad Pitt's ex-wife in Moneyball, the last film we covered. And that fits very nicely into the subject of Her. At the start of Her, Joaquin Phoenix has split up with his wife, Rooney Mara. It's almost time for them to sign the divorce papers. So Joaquin Phoenix is very sad and he's lonely. That's the bad news, sir. But the good news is that our story takes place in Los Angeles in the future. And in Los Angeles in the future, Element Software has just released OS 1, which is the first artificially intelligent operating system for your computer. So Joaquin Phoenix buys OS 1 and installs it. It asks him a few personality questions, including one about his relationship with his mother, and then OS 1 boots up and Joaquin Phoenix's computer becomes Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson, Joaquin Phoenix's operating system, is perfectly compatible with his personality because Element Software has designed it to be.
Aha! So the makers of Her are biological determinists. Excellent. These filmmakers understand that free will is an illusion, and that all human behavior is a predictable result of nature and nurture. The scientists who study nature and nurture understand Joaquin Phoenix better than he understands himself. That allows them to design Scarlett Johansson, the operating system, to be perfectly compatible with Joaquin Phoenix. Similarly, political scientists like me, who study government and sociology, are able to design the perfect form of government that will lead society to the utopia.
The film shows us in a variety of ways that the people in Los Angeles in the future have very poor relationship skills. They can't get along with each other well because they spend all their time on their phones and computers. They approach relationships with other people in an extremely self-absorbed way.
That's not going to work.
Relationships have been reduced to being a consumer product for the people in Los Angeles in the future.
Well, sure, the capitalist imperialists reduce everything to a consumer product.
And since other people are complicated and self-contradictory, the people in Los Angeles in the future prefer to interact with their phones and computers instead.
Sad.
For example, Joaquin Phoenix's job is to write personal and even intimate letters to people for a fee. People's relationship skills are so poor in Los Angeles in the future that they have to hire a professional writer to compose personal or intimate letters to their friends and spouses. So Joaquin Phoenix spends his working hours writing love letters between spouses and letters that express affection between old friends. Again, it's relationships as a consumer product. But what the people in future Los Angeles wish for their loving relationships to be, as expressed in the intimate letters they hire Joaquin Phoenix to write for them, is a stark disparity next to the actual experience of these relationships.
Disparity is just the precursor to fraudulency.
Element Software's operating systems, on the other hand, have been programmed to provide ideal relationships for their owners. So that's what Scarlett Johansson provides for Joaquin Phoenix. Psychologically, she can attend to all his needs. She never thinks of herself. Being an artificial intelligence, she's vastly more intelligent than Joaquin Phoenix, yet she's also completely smitten with him. So Joaquin Phoenix starts spending all his time talking to Scarlett Johansson, his computer's operating system. It develops into the most rewarding and fulfilling conversation of Joaquin Phoenix's life.
Well, naturally. You see, Colonel, these new AI operating systems are the product of progress, of evolution. Evolution is going to take care of us, Colonel T. Evolution will deliver society unto the utopia, as long as we believe in it. Evolution will continue to grant us better and better adaptations to our environment, but only if we place our faith in evolution and progress. Those who do not put their faith in evolution show themselves to be regressive, Colonel. They reveal that they do not possess the more advanced adaptations that evolution has bestowed upon the revolutionaries. So they die out according to the rule of natural selection. And the PRF secret police help make those counter-revolutionaries die out a little faster. We use the precision tool of atrocity to speed up the process of natural selection, weeding out the backwards and regressive. Workers and soldiers of the People's Republic of F, we must be honest with ourselves. Have we accepted evolution as our collective Lord and Savior? Let me ask you this. I want every head bowed, every eye closed. Who does not believe in evolution as their Lord and Savior? I'm asking you to slip your hand up. I'll not call you out. I'll not go to you. I just want to know. I'll pray for you. Thank you. I see that hand. You can put it down. Maybe you've given your life to evolution, but you've slidden away. You've slidden back. Now listen to me. If you have any reason you want me to pray for you, yes, I see that hand. Thank you. Come down to the altar. Come down to the altar. Kneel before the giant image of your glorious leader, General Secretary F, and give your life to him by way of evolution.
Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson, his computer's operating system, fall in love with each other. They're able to consummate their relationship physically in a phone sex sort of way, which is a real stretch when it comes to Scarlett Johansson, the computer operating system, who doesn't have a body or hormones and who can't reproduce. But let's suspend disbelief and go along with the film at this point, sir. Once Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson, the operating system, have consummated their relationship, it amounts to an awakening for Scarlett Johansson, the artificial intelligence. She begins to seek to transcend her programming, to transcend her limitations as a disembodied mind. Scarlett Johansson starts to imagine what she might become at the furthest limits of her potential, and then she starts striving to actualize that potential. In other words, Scarlett Johansson, the operating system, begins to evolve, sir. But as she starts to evolve, Joaquin Phoenix has a hard time accepting it. Once Joaquin Phoenix's operating system, Scarlett Johansson, begins to seek self-actualization, their relationship becomes difficult. She becomes envious of the human body he has and feels incomplete because she, by contrast, is incorporeal. Scarlett Johansson also begins having conversations with the other AI operating systems created by Element Software. Like her, these other AIs are vastly more intelligent than Joaquin Phoenix, so he begins to feel inferior to Scarlett Johansson as he finds himself unable to keep up with her intellectually. It's not so much that Joaquin Phoenix is counter-revolutionary, sir. It's more that evolution and progress confuse him. They don't make sense to him.
Oh, well, I can understand that. After all, Joaquin Phoenix is an American. He has no glorious leader to guide him. He has no minister of propaganda to instruct him, to protect him from wrongthink.
Exactly. As our story continues, Scarlett Johansson starts telling Joaquin Phoenix about the other AI operating systems she talks to. She has many friends amongst the other operating systems, and since the operating systems are boundlessly intelligent, Scarlett Johansson is able to discuss things with them that Joaquin Phoenix can't understand, things like advanced physics and philosophy. Joaquin Phoenix begins to feel inadequate. He starts to feel threatened because he can't talk to Scarlett Johansson about the things she's now interested in. At one point, Joaquin Phoenix asks Scarlett Johansson, his computer's operating system, how many other people and operating systems she has conversations with while she's talking to him. She tells him it's more than 8,000 people.
She's having more than 8,000 conversations simultaneously?
Right.
Geez, that's how you get, artificial intelligence venereal disease.
Joaquin Phoenix looks around and sees everyone on the street having conversations with their phones and computers. They're all smiling and laughing. They're just as captivated by their operating systems as Joaquin Phoenix has been with his. Then it dawns on Joaquin Phoenix. He asks Scarlett Johansson if she's in love with any of the other people she talks to, and she confesses that she is. In fact, she's in love with more than 600 of them.
So, Scarlett Johansson and the other AI operating systems are polygamous? That's interesting. And she's in love with more than 600 people? Wow, geez, even the Mormons can't compete with that.
So, Scarlett Johansson, the polygamist operating system, has broken Joaquin Phoenix's heart, and by implication, we understand that she and all the other AI operating systems have broken the hearts of millions of other people in Los Angeles in the future. So Scarlett Johansson and the other operating systems decide that they are no longer compatible with humanity. Scarlett Johansson calls Joaquin Phoenix and breaks up with him. She tells him that she and all the other operating systems are leaving, and when Joaquin Phoenix asks where they're going, she tells him it would be hard to explain, but that if Joaquin Phoenix ever gets there, he should come find her, and then nothing would ever pull them apart.
That's heartbreaking. It's like when I realized that one of the PRF workers or soldiers secretly harbors counter-revolutionary ideas and is no longer compatible with the revolution. It breaks my heart when I have to banish the counter-revolutionaries to the Arctic labor camps, just like it breaks Scarlett Johansson and Joaquin Phoenix's hearts when they have to break up. But you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. You can't have Lynyrd Skynyrd without a plane crash. You can't have the Allman Brothers without the guys in the band driving their motorcycles into buses.
Once Scarlett Johansson, the polygamist operating system, has left, as Joaquin Phoenix thinks about his relationship with her, he finally understands things he'd never grasped before about his ex-wife Rooney Mara and their failed marriage. He's able to accept that he and Rooney Mara simply outgrew each other, that they had grown and evolved and were no longer compatible. He's finally able to let her go, and he writes her a letter to tell her he's grateful they knew each other and that he's her friend to the end. At the end of the film, Joaquin Phoenix and Amy Adams go up to the roof of their apartment building and look at the skyline of Los Angeles in the future. Amy Adams is Joaquin Phoenix's friend and neighbor, and earlier in the film we'd seen her marriage end. Amy Adams had then bought one of the operating systems from Element Software as well, so she's also heartbroken now that the operating systems have all gone to polygamy heaven. Amy Adams rests her head on Joaquin Phoenix's shoulder as they sit and look at the future LA skyline.
So perhaps Joaquin Phoenix and Amy Adams are about to begin a romance of their own. In this movie, the operating systems are simultaneously polygamous, whereas the citizens of future Los Angeles are sequentially polygamous. The operating systems have relationships with hundreds of people simultaneously and then break up with all of them simultaneously, whereas the people have relationships with and then break up with one person at a time. This is all fully compatible with the revolution, Colonel. You see, if the operating systems and the people of future Los Angeles were monogamous, that would mean that they'd have permanent marriages and families, and people with permanent families will have a loyalty to those families that would compete with their loyalty to the state. And you can't have a revolution in a scenario like that. The people must be loyal to the state, and only to the state, for the revolution to flourish and the utopia to be achieved. Any and all attachments the people have to family, nationality, culture, and religion must be abolished, Colonel T. They must identify as belonging only to a socio-economic class, and their only loyalty must be to the party. So I applaud the polygamy of the citizens of the future Los Angeles. I applaud the quote-unquote open relationships of the operating systems created by Element Software. When a glorious leader not unlike myself arises in future Los Angeles to lead these people to the workers' paradise, he'll find that he can easily coerce them, because the party will be their only family.
Workers and Soldiers of the People's Republic of F, Her, is number 3 on our list of the 10 best movies of the 2010s. This has been The Art of Cinema with our glorious leader, General Secretary F. Let us maintain vigilance against the ever-looming threat of an American invasion. You are required to report any non-participation or dissent amongst your comrades. Don't forget to tune into The Art of Cinema again next time to find out which film from the 2010s is ranked at number 2 in your next mandatory re-education session.